What's going on, everybody? This is AJ Capasso here from Talking with the Source, and I'm here with a good friend of mine.
Robin from UPRN Paranormal and Talking with the Source.
And today you are watching another episode of Talking with the Source. First thing I want to do is I want to apologize to everybody. Yesterday we were having some technical difficulties. We were having, I wasn't able to get on the internet. Robin didn't know what to do. He was scrambling. So we want to apologize to Alan Wright, and we want to apologize to our viewers yesterday. But we have an awesome episode today where we're going to pick 3 viewers to come on, whoever would like to come on in a little bit. To come on and get a free reading from our guest. First thing I want to do is I want to shout out a couple people real quick. I want to shout out Paralinks and Parapost, which we are live on right now. We are on Paralinks Plus, but Paralinks has 1, 2, 3 live and plus, like I said. And we are also live on Parapost Network, which is both the home of paranormal podcasts, live investigations, tarot readings, you name it. We also want to give a shout out to our co-host at Relatively Paranormal. Right now he's got Relatively Paranormal equipment, great deals on SLS cameras, all types of stuff. It's just, you need to get there and check it out. He has an eBay store, an Etsy store, marketplace. And we want to shout out, obviously, our friend Brian Laverty over at Huntophobia Canada. Him and Patty Adams of the G Team Paranormal, who we want to say we love too. Just got done with Bobby Mackey's last night. So awesome to them. We're a little jealous, obviously. But we want to bring
A little.
Right? That's what I'm saying, Robin.
I just want to say hello to One Stoner 3 Cats from AAP.
Hey, what's going on? Thank you so much.
Kimmy Dawn.
Awesome. Good to see you guys.
I see you brushed your hair today.
No, not at all. But thank you so much for asking. Anyway, we have a great guest today. Her name is Lorilei Potvin, and she's from Canada. And let me tell you, she's an absolutely amazing person. She's clairvoyant. She's just an amazing person. She's been a sweetheart to us. She was able to come on in such short notice. We can't thank you enough. Her abilities are off the chart. So let's bring her in. Hey, Lorilei, how are you?
I'm fine, thanks. How are you? I'll let everybody know it's Lorilei. I knew it would happen. It always does because it's spelled like Lorelei, but it's Lorilei. Thank you so much for having me here today. I'm honored to be here.
I do try and educate him, but he's just...
No, you know what's so funny is I went to Lorilei and I said Lorelei, and I'm like, no, but I went with it. But she called me out anyway.
No, I just let people know. And you know what it is? Okay, my partner as well, his name is Del. Oh, isn't that, I got weird stuff going on, you guys. This is perfect. Like my light just came on my camera, and you can probably see me when I was in the green room looking behind me. I am hearing something behind me, and I haven't had any activity in this new house. So this is strange.
We brought it to her. Watch out, Robin. This isn't good.
That's okay. I know how to handle it. After what I was through in my past house, this will be a cakewalk.
One Stoner 3 Cats says, hey, Lorilei, extra big hugs. Great to see you.
Great to see you too. Hi. There'll be a few people here. There'll be other people because I shared it with my friends and they shared it with their friends. And it's on our United Public Radio Network Facebook page. So we could have people from all over. And I know you already do have people from all over. So this should be a lot of fun.
Oh, this is going to be great. So thank you so much for sharing it out. The first thing we want to do is ask our generic question, which is, what got you into the paranormal?
Okay. Well, first of all, I will introduce myself. I'm Lorilei Potvin. I am a Canadian clairvoyant medium, a crystal Reiki energy healer, Akashic Records practitioner, spiritual teacher and mentor, host of my own show, The Angel Rock, on Monday nights on UPRN, as I mentioned the network a few minutes ago, and a nurse. So what got me into the paranormal? I always say I never went looking for the paranormal. It found me. But when I think back, I just turned 57. So my earliest memory, I was about 4 years old, and I had probably paranormal experiences before that. But I remember something very scary that happened to me as a small child. As a nurse, I always had very unusual call. I hope you can still hear me. Are you able
Yes,
to hear me?
yep, we're able
Hang
to hear
on.
you.
I knew. Give me 1 sec, guys. I'm gonna have to duck. Okay, I got a phone call. Give me 1 sec.
No worries. It happened to me all the time, so don't feel bad. Yep. Hold on 1 sec. Back in. That happens to me all the time, right, Robin? We'll literally
Yeah,
be.
a lot of things happen to you all the time.
Well, I mean, you know,
One of
I'm
them,
just.
I'll tell you what one of them is, I'll tell the viewers, one of them is not showing up for a podcast.
Listen, you know that my I was down. I don't want to hear it. All right. Listen, people, don't listen to him. He's just a phony. And I can't wait Lee comes back on so that I can shut you up.
You will anyway.
You're right. You're right. I will. Dude, you know what's funny is I had on my do not disturb sign before. Oh, hold on. Laura Lee is back.
I'm so sorry. And you think my husband would know better? I literally texted him and said he's coming in from camp. And I said, I'm in a podcast starting at 2 o'clock. And he just kept calling. So I picked up the phone and said, don't call because it cuts out the audio.
Do you see, and not to interrupt you, Laura Lee, but do you see this, Robin? Kimmy says excuses, right, Robin? You know what? Both of you are teaming up on me. That's it, Kimmy. I don't like you no more. Not joking. I'm just joking.
Sorry.
But,
I
hey,
should have figured you were right in the middle of something as I just jump in and start talking.
You're in trouble now because even Ellie's at it.
Oh, here we go. Robin would know all about excuses for me. Yeah, yep. See, all right, Ellie. I see how it is. All right, sorry. All right, sorry, Laura Lee. Let's get back to what we were talking about. So, what got you into the paranormal? Go ahead.
Okay, well, first of all, that was my fault. I want to apologize to your audience because my husband knows better. He's on my network and he knows if somebody calls on StreamYard, it knocks out the audio. So I apologize. Anyways, as I was saying, as a nurse, I remember really strange, unusual things happening. I worked nights a lot, I worked in critical care. But the house I was living in, it started probably about, I guess about 11, 12 years ago. Ever since we moved into that house, I was with my first husband at the time. We just always had a really bad string of luck. Like things would start going bad, just small little things. And as time went on, actually my marriage ended in that house. My husband was like, he was a different person. Like he would just come home and sit on the couch from work. He wouldn't interact. It was like he was a stranger and he never knew what was wrong with him. Had 3 professional designations, never seemed to be able to get a great job or anything like that. But what happened when it started to reach a pinnacle was, your keys, you keep your keys in a certain spot, usually at the front door. Most people do. You'd be going to head out and you'd put your phone down beside it, see the keys, bend down to put your shoes on, stand up, the keys are gone. And you're thinking, am I going crazy?
Yep.
And what would happen was that started. I ended up splitting up actually with my first husband, and I'm with my second husband now. I've been with him for 15 years or so, probably, maybe not quite that long. Anyways, Dell, his name is, had moved into the house with me. We were having all these strange little things, like things going missing, like I said, things like that. And then one night, our bedroom was in the basement. My 2 children were upstairs, they're teenagers, and we heard this horrific crash. We came running up the stairs, met my eldest son in the kitchen. We're going, what the heck was that? Looking around for this noise, couldn't find it. Eventually, what we discovered was it was like an open concept. The kitchen was on this side, dining room on this side, and the cupboards were like this. So one side in the kitchen was the cupboards, the other side was a half wall in the dining room. And I had a little cabinet about this big hanging. The reason why I'm telling you this is because this is my introduction into the paranormal. A little long, but I apologize. You'll understand in a minute why.
You're all right.
So we found the cabinet actually about 15 feet from where it was hanging on the wall. It weighed about 5 pounds. It had all my little treasures from when I was a child in there. It had hung there for years. So when we examined things, what we realized was it must have come off the wall with such force. The hooks were still in the wall in the dining room, and I have pictures of this. The one on
Wow.
the left is reefed down, and you can't move the hooks with your hands. It must have flew to the left about 4 feet. As it flew to the wall, it must have come across to the open space in the counter, and it looked like it had sliced our portable phone, our answering machine, and our caller ID, like with a scalpel precision. And then it was in the living room. So we figure it had to have flown about, with the four feet to the left, it had to have flown at least 18 to 20 feet. And
Oh
the
my.
cabinet was all broken in the front, but on the back, the hooks were still intact too. And you could see where it had come off the wall with that amount of force. And after that, all heck broke loose. And I also had a dream foretelling just before that as well. So these two incidents coupled together, all heck broke loose. So that was my introduction.
Wow, Lorilei, that's intense. Hold on one second. I want to tell Cindy. Cindy, I know you say you need a reading badly. Well, listen, you're going to be our first person to come on and do a reading with Lorilei. Lorilei, I want, before we start doing the readings in a couple minutes, I just want to ask you one more thing. If you could tell our viewers, because we're going to have you on in October, but I don't want
Yeah.
to spoil it now. But I want to tell our viewers about how they portrayed your guys' life and all the haunting that you guys had in your old house on Paranormal Survivor, right?
Yeah, we're on season 4, episode 9, called Demonic Hauntings. And I didn't want to make this introduction any longer, but all I'll add, and maybe we'll save it for when I am on with you again at the end of the month. But it actually started out with a dream. And this dream there was something looked like a man, but he said he was a demon, told me his name, spelt it for me, also told me his animal form. And long story short, and I was raised Catholic. I went to church every Sunday. I went to Catholic school. I no longer follow necessarily a religious, I guess, sect or however you want to call it. I don't follow that necessarily. But I actually found, because I couldn't find this name anywhere, I'd never heard it before. And about 10 years later, somebody had reached out that was having a lot of horrific experiences and had come across a name that they remembered from a dream, they think. And they'd asked me if it was demonic. And I said, well, that's not my area of expertise, but let me take a look for you. And there on the same page, I finally found the name I had been given in the dream, spelt exactly the way it was spelt, the animal form, everything he had told me in the dream was right there on the page.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
See that, and I've watched the episode because you showed me. And hey, Kelly, and
Hi,
I tell you,
Kelly.
the way they portrayed it, like you said, and the things you told me about it, we'll get more deeper into it at the end of the
Yeah.
month. But I thought it was pretty intense. So, one stone or three cats. Yes, you may get a reading. You could be our second person to get a reading. Cindy, what I want you to do first, I'm going to put the link to come onto the show into the comments. I want Cindy and one stone or three cats to please use this link and come into the background. You could wait one stone or three cats, or you can come in right now. I'm going to put, obviously, Cindy up on there first, and then we'll let Lorilei do her thing. Lorilei, are you comfortable doing it right now?
I'm sorry?
I said, are you comfortable if I bring one on right now?
Oh, sure, if you want. Yeah.
Okay, great. Let me send this in the chats real quick. Hold on one second.
You got a gorgeous cat, Robin.
Yeah,
That right
he's got
there.
3 legs. He get hit by a train.
Yeah,
He lost a leg. Right?
yeah.
Oh my goodness. He looks like he's doing okay.
He is, yeah.
Hold on one second. Cindy and hold on. One stone or three cats and Cindy. Please click that link that I just put in the comments and join us in the area. Okay, we got three cats. Hold on one sec.
Oh, hi.
Hey, three cats. How are you?
Doing okay. How are you?
Good, good. Lorilei, what I'm going to do is I'll take me and Robin off of the screen.
Yeah.
I will let you guys do your thing. Does that sound good?
Perfect. Now,
All right.
Stoner Cats, I can't see your face. I can just see the side of you. It's there. Perfect. It's easier for me to connect to your energy when I can see your face.
Okay.
So, how are you?
I'm doing good. Thank you for asking.
Okay. So I'm going to explain how this works because we wanted to get into the readings today. What I do when I'm on shows, I don't normally do mediumship readings, okay? Because a lot of people, when they say medium, they think, oh, I want messages from my loved ones. Now, that doesn't mean that I can't. I don't need decks when I do a personal reading with people, an hour long. Kelly Hopkins, I believe, is in the chat. She can tell you I don't need to use these. She's done paid readings with me before. Sorry, Kelly, I know you won't mind if I share that. But there may be, if you've got a loved one that's really, really got a message for you, wants to come through, sometimes they just but usually what I do, and I like to do how I work with mediumship, is I get someone to send me a picture of their loved one, the last one that they have, where I can see their face. Usually take it into a meditation, and lots of times they show up. Believe it or not, I've had many crazy readings, amazing readings that way. But like I said, I like to give people a heads up. The other thing is, I knew you wouldn't, Kelly. Thank you. The more specific you can be with me, the more specific spirit can be with you. I always say I'm just the mailman. So I'm kind of the go-between. So that was it. Sorry, go ahead. I'd love to hear. How can I help you?
Well, actually, my father passed away, and I didn't know about it till 2 years after the fact. We were not close, and I would like to know if he did have anything to say to me.
Yeah, that's what I was a little concerned about because, like I said, most people want to do mediumship reading. I can try and tune in and see. Well, let's see if he'll come through. The other thing I will share with you is, and everybody else listening, just like we have free will in the lifetime, free in the afterlife. I'll be honest with you, though, I've never not had somebody come through like when we're doing like an hour and a half long reading. Okay. I'm going to start. I'm hearing. Let's start with a deck here. I did pull my mediumship readings because, like I said, I do lots of different podcasts, and usually everybody wants their one, right? The one thing I do, you know what? Even before I grab the deck, what I'm hearing is, first of all, he wants to apologize to you, honey, that you weren't close. I don't know. He's not being very specific about what the reason is why you guys something. Did you guys have a disagreement? That's kind of what I'm feeling, like a disagreement or no? Okay, well, whatever that may be, that's not what it is. He wants to apologize to you, first of all, that you found out how you did, and second of all, that you didn't have the connection that you I would guess, because he's saying that, I'll just say what he's saying. He's saying that you would have wished for in life because he would have wished the same. All I'm hearing is there were a lot of issues that you weren't maybe aware of that he was going through in life as well. And I'm going to grab a card now, but feel free if there's something else you want to ask him, because the more that's how my gift works. The more I can either connect with your face or I hear your voice, the more I connect with your energy. So go ahead. Was there something else you wanted? You don't have to give me a lot of information or anything, but was there something else you wanted to ask?
Just general, just a general reading.
No, I'm not done here with you. Like, your dad's not finished yet. So give me a minute. I'm just shuffling my card deck here.
Okay.
I don't know if he, like, I'm just sharing what I'm picking up here. It almost feels like he might have had some issues with substances. I don't know what that may be. I don't know, but that's what I'm feeling. Okay. Again, he apologizes. I literally just heard I had my own demons in life and was very sort of self-centered on my own self rather than how I should have been. He has some regrets about that. He is around you, so you know that. Okay, you talk to him all the time, because I'm hearing that he says he hears you. Okay, so keep talking to him. The other thing I want to explain, and I'm shuffling, I'm waiting to hear stop here. Oh, you got one that just jumped, two that jumped out. So you're going to get two cards. If they jump out, they're meant for you. What he wants me to share with you is that in I call it transitioning back home, but when we leave this earthly plane, we are our true self, if you will, our soul self. So he can see things from your perspective, from everybody else's perspective, how his actions affected you and any other family members with what happened. He wants you to know that he can see things from the bigger picture, and he takes ownership in basically with the relationship, because you're asking about yourself with you, the lack of, okay? He wants to apologize. The other thing he says is it wasn't, obviously wouldn't have been his choice for you to find out the way that you did, but he is around you. And I'm hearing he's connecting with you when you're asleep. Okay. Do you remember your dreams? Because a lot of people don't.
Sometimes I do.
Okay. Well, especially when you think about him before you go to bed, or say you've got a question, like you're asking yourself, geez, I wish I would have had like my dad around to be able to ask this. And now that he's gone, I can't connect with him. And, he hears you. So the easiest way for our loved ones to come through is when we're asleep, because we're wide open, right? So he can come through that way and have conversations with you if you've got a question, or say you want maybe you want to do some healing with it, hear what he wants to say or what he has to say to you, right, with your own ears. When you go to bed, set that intention when you go to bed, and he will come through. A lot of times we don't always remember our dreams, so keep that notebook by your bed. Okay, I tell everybody this anyways, because we get all kinds of information in our dreams. You don't have to write a big note or anything like an essay to yourself, but what I find is when we get up, right, the minute our feet touch the ground and we run to the bathroom or grab that cup of coffee, we forget 80 to 90% of what we've received. So even if it's just a few words, and when you go back, I have a feeling you're going to be able to connect a lot of those messages. Or say you want some clarification, like why didn't he speak to you? Is that what you were sort of asking when you said, go ahead.
He and I, we never really had much of a relationship to begin with. There was a lot of issues.
Did you argue a lot? Because I keep feeling that. I think I sort of implied that a little bit earlier, but it almost feels like there was really disjointed, like you guys were just so different. It was almost like oil and water when you mixed. When you did see him.
Yeah. Like I said, there was not a lot of connection. He did not live in the same state that I lived in, and I only saw him maybe a half a dozen times while I was growing up. So I did not have a lot of connection with him.
He really wants to say how sorry he is about that. But this message I'm listening right now, he wants you to realize that if you're able to, whether you need to work with a counselor or whatever that may be, to heal those feelings of rejection, because he sees that now. That it wasn't you, and this was never your fault. And I'm getting goosebumps, so that's my sign for truth, that this was never your fault. And he wants you to realize that, because I'm just going to say what he's saying. I'm hearing you're taking this forward, whether it's subconsciously or not, with further relationships throughout your lifetime, especially when it comes to a partner in life. And he doesn't want you to hold on to that, because it's impacting your life, and this was no fault of your own. Does that resonate with you? Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
And for that, he has the deepest regrets, because I'm hearing daddy's little girl, like that going through. And I apologize if this is getting personal, but I'm hearing those questions like you were asking, those like what's wrong with me? Like, why aren't you in my life? Like, I want you in my life, and why aren't you connecting with me? And this is why this is coming up right now, honey, is he wants you to know this was not your fault. This was all him. And he now can see the hurt that he has caused you. And he says that is one of my biggest regrets when I was in this lifetime, was the pain that he caused you. And he is so, so, so sorry for that. He loves you deeply. He always did love you. He just has his own issue. He had his own issues. I heard has, but he had his issues when he was here. Very self-centered, I'm hearing, only thought about himself. And because the distance was between you two, it was easier to make excuses. It was easier with his own issues in life instead of realizing what an impact, and he can see that now. So he wants you, again, he's repeating, please realize that none of this was your fault, none in any way. He said he has always loved you. And literally hearing, even though it's not the same as having him physically in your life, he is here for you now. But he's asking if there's anything he could ask of you. And the reason why he's asking this is because it will help you, is to really work, if you're able to, in some way, whatever best suits you. I'm hearing counseling, no matter. Okay, good, because it's impacting your life, and he can see that now as a bigger picture. He couldn't see that when he was living, and he wants you to be happy. I'm going to grab those two cards for you, sweetie.
Okay, thank you.
They jumped out. The first one, my death was painless. Please don't worry or hold on to guilt about that as well, because you didn't know. Okay. The other one is, oh, this is a nice one. I don't usually get this card. He says, I'm with the rest of the family. And he will be there too. Not that I'm trying to be fatalistic or anything like that, but he will be there too when we all transition, as I call it, back home one day, right? That's pretty well a given. If we're born, we're going to return where we once came from. But he will be there, and you'll get to see who he really is versus who he was in that lifetime. Does that help, hon?
Yes, it does. Thank you.
Okay. Is there any other thing you've got? I don't know. AJ and Robin didn't say how long to do for each reading. So.
Yeah, no, I mean, that was perfect. I mean, yes, thank you so much for coming on. We really appreciate you for coming.
I appreciate you asking me. I told you that last night because AJ kept saying, I'm sorry I asked so late. And I said, hey, if you didn't ask, you wouldn't know, right? And end of the week is usually better for me anyway, so.
I mean, no, thank you so much. I mean, but One Stone or Three Cats, thank you for coming on as well.
Thank you.
Yeah, really appreciate you coming on. If you could, I mean, if you want, you can always reach out to Lorilei at go ahead, Lorilei. Why don't you tell us One Stone or Three Cats?
I'm actually friends with her on Facebook.
You know what? I feel so sorry about this. Yeah. You know when you have a ton of friends on your Facebook page, and because people see the show and stuff, I'm glad. So you know how to get a hold of me. But I'll tell people listening, if you ever want to book a reading with me, I also do healing work. I work with chakras. I do teaching, mentoring. I do things free as well. I have 2 groups on Facebook: Paranormal University for all things paranormal, Angel Rocket Tribe for many things we do. We were just talking about here. You can reach me also on facebook.com/Angel Rock.
I want to give you a hug.
Okay, well, we'll give you a virtual hug, okay? I'm so glad, and I'm really glad I got the opportunity to connect. Like I said, if your loved one comes through, I just don't want to say to somebody, because I know what works best for me with my gifts. So that's why I told you.
Well, you did awesome, and I want to thank you again. I really appreciate it.
You're so welcome, honey. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to connect with you and your dad.
Thank you so much. Take care. Much love. Bye.
Much love.
All right. So, Lorilei, the next one we have on is Kayla. Hold on 1 second. I want to say one thing before we begin. Hey, Kayla, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Good, good. Hold on 1 second. One thing I want to say is Jen Tardy, I left a link in the description. Please, click it. Once Kayla gets done with Lorilei, we'll have you on. Whoever wants one, please click the link in the comments, but let you ladies get at it, and we'll be in the background. So whenever you're done, Lorilei, you just give me the heads up and back up.
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
Hi, Kayla. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. How can I help today?
I was just wondering if any messages came through.
Okay, so you're just from spirit, you mean? Like collectively from spirit? Okay, so like I explained, the more specific you can be with spirit, the more specific spirit can be with you. So if you're just wondering message wise, and that's the other thing I'm going to give other people a little bit of a heads up. For me, how I connect is when I speak with you and I see you. So I'm glad I can see you. So I'll just tune in for a minute. How about we do that? Because I know it's a little bit different than how I usually, when I do a reading, I'm talking. I don't need information. I always say it's so much easier to read somebody I haven't met prior versus like a family member or a friend. So, I don't know why I'm hearing goddess deck for you. And I like to use decks when I'm doing things like this because I do go, I haven't done it in a long time. I haven't had the time, but I usually do, I will, if I've got free time, do one question free readings on my own Facebook page. So that's why I was glad that AJ asked, because I had my guides kind of giving me a poke, like, you haven't done that in a while. Do you think you might be able to pop on? So this is perfect. So let's see. Okay, so the card that we got, yeah, that's why I was picking up, before I even read this card, because I was picking up kind of your energy, like really stressed, like all over, kind of in one place, all over the place.
Yes.
Yeah, I was picking that up because I'm getting, should I go to school? Should I do this? And I'm like, what is this? And then as I was tuning into it, the card was perfect. I don't think I've ever even gotten this card. Well, this is really cool, some of the stuff happening today. I think it's Siege or Sige. And this is one of the goddesses, one I'm not familiar with. And what she's got is quiet time. Take some quiet time alone to rest, meditate, and contemplate. I don't know if you can see the picture or not.
Yeah, I never take time for myself ever.
Oh, okay. Because, well, like I said, I was literally hearing as I was trying to tune into you, like I was hearing, should I go to school? Should I change jobs? Should I move? Like there was all these things and I'm thinking, and then I realized, yeah, you know what, but as moms, or even not even as a mom, like whatever we're doing in life, right? And especially for a caregiver, which I'm picking up you kind of are, meaning, you look after everybody else other than yourself. So
Yeah.
now this was an important card because do you meditate at all?
No.
Okay. So that's why that was, and you don't get a lot of sleep, do you?
Not really.
No, I was picking that up as well. So, just going to ask out of curiosity, is there a reason why you don't meditate? And no judgment, just asking.
I really never have the quiet time to do so, really.
Okay. All right. So this is what's, like I said, the more people talk with me, the more that comes through. Okay. So what I'm hearing from spirit with you, yes, when it's crazy, it's noisy, right? Our body never gets a chance to rest, and that includes our minds. So a lot of people say it's difficult to meditate because, again, I don't have the quiet time. I don't have the time. I can't quiet my mind. Some of the things I suggest, and the reason why, it's not just meditation for woo-woo stuff, as I call it, to connect to spirit or whatever it may be, right? We see people like CEOs of companies, we see professional athletes, and many, many different types of professions people meditate. And it doesn't have to be in the lotus position for an hour atop, some solitary mountain. Sometimes we get that vision or that picture, right, for meditation. Sometimes just even 5 minutes, or just making the effort to just focus on our breathing. So like deep breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth, and just trying to, even if we're just focusing on breathing in, breathing out, because once we take a few minutes, even if you can do it, even if it's not possible every day, every second day or a couple times a week, trying to get into it. Because the beautiful thing about meditation, once we quiet our mind, that's where we get a lot of answers, because we stop. And believe it or not, and I do believe this, we are all connected to our guides, angels, spirit, loved ones on the other side. Say you've got a question, a big one in life, and you're trying to figure out, like, what should I do with this? Where should I go with this? That's when spirit will come in. If you ask for them, and especially if you give them permission, you don't have to say it out loud. You can say it within the mind's eye. I want to get to know you, I want to connect with you more. You can get a lot of answers that way. The other reason is because I was picking up you don't sleep a lot. I believe it's 15 minutes of meditation, they have found through science, is akin to like an hour of sleep. So you can feel a lot
Interesting.
more, yeah, so you can feel a lot more rested, a lot more calm. I keep feeling like there's something with career direction with yourself. Have you been thinking about a new career, or you're not really sure where you're going with that, or?
Right now I'm unemployed.
Oh, okay. Because I keep hearing that. So, were you thinking of a new career? Because that's what I keep hearing from Spirit, is that you're not really sure where to go with this, or you've been looking and maybe not able to find something that really suits your needs.
Yeah, I'm not really sure where to go with it.
Okay, well let's pull a card for that then too. Okay.
Okay.
I've got life purpose card. We'll pull that and see. So what I always suggest, because we get, when we're not really sure, or like, as much as it can be really financially stressful when we're not working, sometimes this is a great opportunity to look at, what have I always wanted to do? Where have I wanted to go that I haven't done before? You're going to
Right.
say something?
Nope, you're right.
Okay.
I just don't know which path to choose, basically.
Okay, because what I was going to suggest, because this question comes up a lot for a lot of people, what Spirit's sharing as I'm shuffling this deck is, this is actually a gift right now. It doesn't look like one, doesn't feel like one, but when you look back on this from the future back into the past, it is, because it's like an open slate, right? And it's about, what have I always wanted to do? But like you said, I don't know. So one of the things that really sometimes helps, something to look at, is, what did I always want to do as a child? What brings me joy? What makes me happy? That if I had my choice, I didn't have any financial worries in the world, what would I be doing right now? Right? You don't have to answer that for me. That's just from Spirit for you. Once we look at it, then our human brain jumps in there, or the ego, right? I don't like the word ego, because it makes it sound like a bad thing, and it's not, right? It's a part of all of us and who we are. But the beauty in that is, right, looking at the big picture, and when we figure out, sorry, I lost my train of thought for a second because Spirit's talking quickly. So once we figure out, you know what, I always wanted to do this as a child, or this, if I could be doing this 24 hours a day, I would be. We all have something like that, right? But then the human brain jumps in and says, no, we can't make a living at that. No, how would it happen? Like, how would I make money at this? How would I do this? Well, the beauty in it all is, if that's something you really desire, you can make that happen, right? Everything on this planet is energy, right? It is, like, right down to our bodies.
Right.
And so our thoughts and words and emotions. So taking a look at that and putting it out to the universe, focusing on it, you can leave yourself a note, a picture, whatever, right? And enters the subconscious, and leave the figuring out to the universe or your guides. Because I don't know about yourself, or if you've tried, big buzzword, manifesting something, right? That we've wished for and we've made it happen in whatever way. When we look back and it happens, and we go, and I don't know for yourself, but I've met many people, including myself, you go, wow, I couldn't have figured that out in a million years. It would have worked out that way, that I would have met
Right.
this person or that person. So that's one way to make this happen.
Okay.
So does that resonate with you in any way? Like, does it make a lot of
Yes.
sense? Okay,
Yes.
let me pull a card for you, sweetie. This says travel. Your life purpose involves traveling. Don't know if that resonates or not, but if it doesn't, maybe it will in the future. But that's what the card that I pulled for you. So
Yeah, I've been looking into traveling right now.
have you? Okay,
Yep.
because I have to remember too, when I'm doing readings for people, that, you know what, it may not make any sense to me, but you know what, usually good decks and they don't let people down. So I'm going to leave you with this. If you've been looking at traveling, right, really focus on it. Focus on it. If there's a place you want to go, put that picture up. Put, maybe some videos, whatever it may be. And, think about how it will make you feel if you were able to travel there. Like, and just right now thinking about it, how would it make you feel?
Right. So something along the lines of like a vision board almost, kind of.
Sure. Or like and I'm still working on manifestation, but I think we're all a work in progress. I will be to the day I die, like all of us. But part of what makes it really work and really well is, focusing on how it'll make you feel. And if we can't muster up that emotion, think about, I hear little people in the background. So think about how you feel about those little people in the background. How do they make you feel, right? The love that's behind them. Well, you're thinking about traveling because it's putting that energy out. Now, I'm going to share a little secret, and I'm always honest with people, whether I'm on a podcast or not. I'm trying it myself. It was a couple tips a couple people have given me called the Magic Journal.
Okay.
So pick a really beautiful journal, and I'll update you guys on the 28th how it's doing. I'm not going to tell you what I'm working on. And that's the other thing, right? Keep it to yourself unless you absolutely know 100% that somebody has your back beyond a shadow of a doubt, okay? So a lot of times people, and I'm not trying to make it sound like everybody's out to get us, but a lot of times people get jealous when we're hoping to work on something or manifest something. Magic Journal, pick out a beautiful journal, a pen, doesn't have to be expensive, just something that you really, really love. And you write in there, but you write like you already have it. Dear universe, thank you for helping me travel to blah, blah, blah. You always bless me with the most incredible things. I'm so grateful for this, but talk like you already have it and see what happens. Okay. It's my own experiment too, but I thought I'll share it with you, see how it goes.
Okay.
Does that help?
Yes, thank you.
Well, I'm so glad to connect with you. Thanks so much, Kayla.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you so much, Kayla, for coming on. I really appreciate you. Oh, I think we lost her.
Did we lose her?
I think so. Lost connection. Hold on. So Cindy Riddle, I will let you know that I put the link in the comments. You're gonna have to go look up in the comments, and you're gonna have to find the link for it. I'll put it in one more time. Hold on. Whoever wants to read it is the last person that's gonna come on. I'm gonna post it in the comments right now. Hold on.
My gift works that I talk to people, so I pick up their energy. So that's why I've taken a few minutes here, just sort of focusing on somebody. So
No, do your thing. The only thing I do want to let you know is your headphones. I don't know if it has to do with the jack, but it's making it's knocking in and out every once in a while.
I'm sorry about that.
No, I'm not. No, please don't be sorry.
And I move a lot too. So let me see. I'll try and pay attention to that because I am hearing it cut in and out. I try not move so much.
Let's see if
Kelly, you're so sweet. I love you. I've known Kelly for so many years. And Steve-O.
Yeah, Steve-O's been my best friend. He was my first friend ever in this field. Hold on. We got somebody. Hold on. We got my friend Jen. Hey, Jen.
Hi.
Hey,
how are you?
Good. Yourself? Good. So this is my friend Jen Lorilei. She's been
Jen.
You know, been friends ever since school. So I'm gonna let you guys do your thing. I'm gonna get off with the computer here, and I'll do your thing. So have a good time.
Hi,
Thank
Jen.
you.
And please let me know
How
if I
are
cut
you?
out because I'm moving around here and apparently it's cutting in and out, and I apologize for that. So how are you?
Okay. I'm good. How are you?
I'm great, thanks. So how can I help you?
Well, today is my birthday.
Happy birthday.
Thank you. And I would love to hear from my grandma if that was possible.
Alrighty. Right away when you said your grandma, I heard cookies. I have no idea why, but cookies.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, now I'm getting it's not cold in here, but I'm getting goosebumps. That never normally happens. But like you said, and I heard cookies, say cookies.
Yep, that's all we did was we baked.
Did you? Okay, well, that's your grandma coming through. She said happy birthday. She wishes she could be here with you in physical form, but she is always with you. Always. Every time you think of her, she is. Blue jays seeing birds, like birds. I don't know if you've had some birds around you or something. Maybe you will, but feeling that. Let me see what else. Anyways, she started to talk, and then what happens with my gift is, and it was the biggest shock for me because I'm what you call very clairaudient. So I hear spirit all day long. I don't hear voices, but I hear them. And when my mediumship gift started to open up, it was like going to a different country because some people talk, some people give me a
Yeah.
smell, some people give me colors, sometimes it's a feeling, and then sometimes they mix them. So there could be a different
Yeah.
reason for the birds, but she gave me a picture of a blue jay. I have no idea why, and then a cardinal, blue jay and cardinal. So I don't know, maybe you're
I
going
see
to see
cardinals
one.
a lot. I
Okay,
see
maybe.
cardinals a lot.
Well, I just heard that's me. So she's got the most beautiful energy. Oh my God, she's just so loving. Like it's like when you met, like when she was in this lifetime, I almost feel like when you meet her, like everybody wished she was their grandma because she's just that sweet.
Yeah.
She said she is with you always, sweetheart, and she hears you. She just said, my darling. I don't know if she called you that or not, but that's what I heard.
Yeah.
She holds you when you cry, when you think about things and you miss her. She wants to let you know. She just said, I didn't suffer when she passed. I don't know if that's something you were wondering or not, but I just heard that.
Yeah.
She's at every family gathering. She every new baby, she says, she's showing me any new baby that comes into the immediate like the whole family, not just save for yourself. She's showing me
Yep.
holding them, and she gives them a kiss on the forehead just before they're born. She's with other family members on the other side. She showed me like a big, like, I want to say barbecue, like a whole bunch of
Probably.
people all around, all having a great time. And like
Yeah.
our loved ones never ever leave us. So she wants to let you know how much she loves you, and not too soon, she said, but basically she will be there. All our loved ones are right there waiting for us, like a reception line when it's our turn. But she said, not too soon, very, very far, far away, as much as she misses and loves you. Now, is there any questions you have for her at all, or anything you want to ask her?
I just want to know if she's proud.
Oh, we just went, oh, of course. I thought you would know that. Of course, she's proud of you. She sees everything. I don't know why it is not cold. It's super hot today where I am. I'm getting major goosebumps. She said, of course, like kind of like that was a given. Of course, you know, I'm proud of you. I'm proud of everything you do. She literally said you could be brushing your teeth and I'd be proud of the way you brushed your teeth, because it's just everything you do is perfect to her in her eyes, is what she said. And she does miss you, but she wants you to know. She keeps going on about how thin the veil is. Like it's really, really, it's not. She's not that far away, is what she's trying to say to you. So keep
Okay.
talking to her. She hears
I
you.
will.
And she loves you so much. The only thing she regrets is that she couldn't be here for your birthday in physical form. But she's with you, like everything you do, and celebrates you. When you do have a difficult time with something, she's still there for you. She hears you. She's holding. She shows me holding you. Like when you've had some sad moments, she's there with you. I'm going to pull out a couple cards for you. But is there anything else you want to ask her? I just love her. I don't get me wrong, everybody. I love who I connect with, but honestly, when I say this, like, did people say this to you when she was around? Like, oh, I wish she was my grandma, because like that's what she feels like to me.
Yeah. Everybody
Yeah.
says she was such an amazing woman.
Yes, and still is. And she's
Yes.
I don't know what she had going on before she passed, but she wants you to know again that she was in no pain when she passed. It was very peaceful. And the other thing is that she's whole and healthy on the other side, like looking and living her best life, like how she did. Like she's almost showing me maybe her late 30s, 40s.
Okay.
Just beautiful energy about her. So sorry, I might have cut you off. Was there something else you wanted to ask?
No, that was it.
Was
Just so
it?
happy to hear that she's here.
She's always like, she keeps saying this over and over. Like she is always with you. So whenever you think of her, and I want everybody to know that too, that's listening. I truly believe that our loved ones, when we think of them, they're there. When we have Christmas or Thanksgiving or family get together, they are always there, and they, even though we may not see them, we may feel them, we talk about them, we remember them, they're there. There's still a huge part. She's part of your soul group, like your intimate soul group,
Yeah.
right? We incarnate every lifetime with. She is. Of course, she keeps going, I can't believe she didn't think I was proud of her. Of course I'm proud of her. So
That makes me very happy.
Oh, I literally just heard, how could I not be? Mm-hmm. Hang on, let's see what we got here. Well, this is an interesting card. We'll see if this means something to you or not. She says, this card, I shouldn't say she says, the card says, you are ready for a change of scenery, so explore. So I don't know if maybe that's something you were looking at, something you were thinking of, or maybe something down the line. She's got your back is what she said. I've got your back. So if there's something you're thinking of new, maybe to venture into, or you weren't sure, or is this the right time? I would take this as a sign that, yeah, this is the right time to start exploring and taking a look at something maybe you've always wanted to do. We've put a lot of things on the back burner in the last 2+ years with what's been going on.
Yeah.
So I would take this as a sign that this is the right time to start looking at maybe what you were thinking about doing before we went through that period, or.
Okay.
Okay. Does that help?
Yes.
Yeah. Anytime.
You just made my whole day.
I'm so glad. And she just said again, happy birthday. And I'm so glad that I could connect with everybody here. She said, I love you too.
Mute, AJ.
I love you.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to say, me and Jen, we grew up together, and we've been God knows how long. I have to say, she's an amazing mother, and she really takes care of her kids. She's there for her kids 100% over herself, completely selfless, and I couldn't ask for a better friend. So I just want to say,
thank you.
She's known you for years, and you're still friends.
Yep. Can you believe that, Robin? She's still my friend.
I actually can't believe that.
Yeah. Well, she will be. She's showing me something about blowing out birthday candles. So I don't know if you are or when, but she'll be right there with you. She said, save one for me.
I will.
Okay. Happy birthday.
Thank you so
Jen.
much.
You're so welcome.
Thank you.
Big hugs.
Thanks, Jen. Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Yep. So, Lorilei, we got one more person. This is the person I've been trying to get on since the beginning.
It's no problem. I'm not in a hurry. Like, I know you guys probably only do your podcast for so long, so no worries.
Oh, no. As long as you're okay, that's okay.
I'm okay.
Cindy, how are you, Cindy?
I'm doing great. How are you all? I'm from Kentucky.
Good.
Hi,
good.
Cindy.
Have you from Kentucky? We want to. I'm gonna let Lorilei take over. So, Lorilei, go ahead, and I will remove us from the stream.
Perfect. Hi, Cindy. So nice to meet you. How can I help you today?
I'm extremely getting emotional already. A tightness in my chest. I've been trying to connect with my father, who passed in 2011, and my mom has had Alzheimer's for many years. And when on my dad's deathbed, he made me promise to take care of my mom. And so now I have MS, and I'm in a wheelchair, and I had to put my mom in a nursing home. And it's always bothered me because my dad was my hero. It was just the three amigos. It was just he and myself and mom. And I just want to know if my dad's proud of me, and if he's not mad at me for what I had to do with mom.
Oh, honey. While you were talking, he said, Cindy, you're my hero. And actually, a lot of information came through. He literally said that, please, I know you made that promise to me, and I know you did the absolute best that you could. But he sees it now, just like I was saying earlier with I think it was our first reading we did, that he's able to see it from the big picture. And he wants you to care for yourself. You did the best that you could. He's not angry with you in any way. He is so proud of you. He thanks you for everything you have done. You went over and above what anybody could have done. And he loves you so much, Cindy. So he wants you to let this all go, the guilt, the fear, all of it, because he has seen everything you have done and he has been so proud of you. He wants you to take
Oh,
care of you now. Okay. That's what he wants you to do. He never would have been angry. And the only thing that makes him sad is that you've been hanging on to this feeling like he might be angry or, you know, be looking at you and thinking, how could you have done that? He has never thought that in any way, shape, or
oh,
form at
oh,
all.
that's taken such a load off of me.
Oh, I'm glad. I'm so glad that you got through. I know your dad is too, because you know what, when we're grieving and we're going through everything that we're going through, and you've had a lot on your plate, sweetheart. You know,
Yes.
it's hard for our loved ones to connect with us because we're going through grief, you're going through health issues. None of this is your fault, but he does try and send you little signs. I don't know, and I know this sounds really cliche, but he is showing me pictures of dimes. I don't know if you're finding dimes or pennies.
Yes.
That's your dad.
Everywhere.
That's your dad. That's your dad letting you know that he's there, sweetie. He's there. He's around you. Like, and you heard me with the last reading. Our loved ones never leave us, okay? And some people will say, well, does that mean that they're not in heaven? No, we can be in a gazillion, trillion, bajillion different places at once. Once we cross over into our soul form, if you will. So he's been trying to let you know, and he will come through. Like, same thing when, and I tell people this too, if you want to connect with your loved one, the easiest way is when we're asleep. Okay?
Oh, I dream about him. We have strawberry ice cream sometimes at the table. Back
I
when
love
I
it.
was a teenager, back in the day, you know, we will do things like that, and it's just as real. I mean, I can taste the strawberries in the ice cream, and I'm
Oh,
sitting there, and we're talking and sharing,
because you
and
are
it's
there.
yeah, yeah. I mean, it's amazing. He was an amazing person. He was
I
a
could
very
tell.
wonderful person. He done everything for everyone, and he gave everything he had. He gave.
Your
Oh,
dad is saying
he was
you're very
amazing.
much like he is, and it's
Everybody
time.
says I am.
Yeah, you're very much like he was, doing something for everybody else and putting yourself last. We, you know, most of our
Yes,
readings, I love how spirit works. It gives us kind of a theme, and we've had, you know, readings with almost everybody here. And I don't want to take away from this being your reading, but we've got so many people taking care of other people. But what I'm hearing is we can't pour from an empty cup, because you're very giving, right?
exactly.
Never mind what you're doing with your mom. You've been carrying this heavy load about this promise you made to your dad. You're doing things for other people. It's time to take care of ourselves, because when we take care of ourselves, right, then we
Right.
fill ourselves up, and then we can continue to give to other people. But when we keep
Yes.
giving and giving and giving, and we're not receiving, or sometimes we do have to put ourselves first, then we can continue to give, because we keep filling up our own cup, which then we can share with others. Does that make sense?
Yes. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And we have twin 16-year-old sons, and they're feeding from my energy. Even though I try to hide it and I suppress it, they still pick up on it. They feed
Mm-hmm.
from it. It
Mm-hmm.
affects them, their
Mm-hmm.
moods, you know,
Of course
their
it would.
worries.
Of course it
Mom, are
would.
you okay? Mom, are
Mm-hmm.
you okay? And they
But you
shouldn't
have,
have to do that at 16.
yes, but you have to remember too that when we have children, whether, especially if we do carry them, some people adopt and become parents that way, but we have a special bond as a parent, right? And
Right,
children are very intuitive. It doesn't matter how old they are. You
right,
could probably be halfway across the house worried about something, and your boys will come in, Mom, are you okay? Because they'll pick it up. They won't know what it is, but they'll pick it up.
right.
So you can't be everything to everybody, is what your dad wants you to know. So it's not being selfish, taking some time for yourself, caring for yourself, doing what you may need to do, because then you can continue, like I said, to be able to give to others like you are. but it's time to worry about you right now, because you still need to be a mama to those boys of yours and the family you have. And
Yes.
I'm hearing you're spreading yourself pretty thin. So the
Yeah.
joy that dream that you just shared with your dad with the strawberry ice cream, he wants you to have more moments like that in this lifetime. Okay. The joy that brought you, like you said, you could taste the ice cream. So, because he's always with you, you bring him everywhere you go. Everywhere you go, he's with you. Every time you think of him, every time you have a conversation in your head with him, he's with you. He is.
And see,
And
I was left to, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but what always bothered me is that my mom was not in the condition to, my dad was ill and we didn't know what happened. And he couldn't take dialysis. His kidney started shutting
oh,
down,
I'm so
started having heart
sorry.
attacks. And so we didn't know what, it just happened in a matter of 2 weeks. And the thing that got me is the doctor came to me and said, we can let your dad live for 2 weeks and suffer, or you can let him go in 2 hours. And I didn't even think. And I said, 2 hours. And I crawled up in the bed with him as he passed. And I held him and I wiped the tear from his cheek and I shut his eyes and I
He thanks
continued
you
to
for
talk
that.
to him.
He thanks you for that, by the way,
Did
too,
he know
because
that was me?
of course he knew it was you. Of course he did. And he wants to thank you too for speaking for him, because you knew him well enough of how he would have liked things to happen.
Yes.
So he thanks you. Of course he knew it was you, honey. Of course he did.
Yes.
He could hear you. He could feel you. And again, he thanks you because he can feel and he could see now from where he is, especially how difficult that was for you. But again, you put him first, okay?
Okay. Does he have anything in the cards to tell me?
Well, we're going to pull some cards for you.
Okay.
He just, the other thing, keep talking to him. Do you journal at all or write down or
Yes.
anything?
Mm-hmm.
Keep doing
Mm-hmm.
that, he said, because I don't know if you've been writing some questions down or something. And the easiest way he is finding right now to connect with you again through your dreams. So if you've got a question, just like as you used to talk to him in life, just before you fall asleep, ask that question. Say, Daddy, can you meet me in my dreams, please? He'll meet you. He'll give you the fatherly advice that you'll be able to hear, just like you would have heard him, when he was on this earthly plane. I'm trying to grab the deck I want. Hang on here. Where did you go, deck? Oh, here it is. I brought, you know what? As much as I say I don't do mediumship, I know it's usually that's what it's going to be, right? Because we want to know, we've got so many questions when our loved ones pass, right? And it just, I really hope that lifts that weight from your chest, because that's what he's showing me. It's like this huge weight and he wants you to let it go.
Yeah. I was anchored down with it.
No, he couldn't be prouder of you. He loves you so much. He loves your family, your boys. Honestly, he couldn't be any prouder. And again, he says, you did more than I would ever have expected with asking you to look after your mother.
Oh,
you did so much.
So much more.
Yeah, that's what he said. And
he would have said that. He would have said that.
He said he loves you so, so, so much, but he wants you to look after yourself right now, too. Like you said, you've got MS. He wants you to take care of yourself, okay? And it's not being selfish, because when you're feeling at your best, life will be want it to be, because that's what he's sort of sharing, that maybe it's not right where you want it to be right now, but by doing something that may feel maybe to yourself, and I'm hearing this from him, you may think this is being selfish. It's not being selfish, okay? Because when you nurture yourself, care for yourself, and start to heal yourself, you can continue to be who you are and what you want to do, okay, honey?
Okay.
I'm going to pull some cards for you, though. Hang on, I got one. I'm hearing two for you. So let's see. So I hope that helps. I'm so glad that you got through. So is your dad. He just said, so am I. Okay. Okay. I think, I'm so glad this card came up. Actually, both of them. It says, my death was painless. Please don't worry or hold on to guilt. Okay. So
wow.
And the other one, and I don't get this card very often. It says, "I'm standing right next to you." So your daddy's behind you, I guess, or right beside you.
Sometimes I smell his cologne.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I don't have it anywhere in the house. It was aspen, this strange aspen, and I'll smell it. They don't even sell it anymore, and I'll smell it.
Well, that's him then. If you associate
Yeah.
that smell, yeah. Like I said, earlier in this reading, that your dad's been trying to give you signs. Our loved ones do, and they're specific to the loved one that we have, right? Like you said, they don't even sell aspen anymore, but you'll smell it because that's his sign for letting you know he's close, he's near.
Yeah. He chokes me with it sometimes, but he always done that in real life anyway. It's like overwhelming. It's like,
so he's really letting you know he's there.
Go back to Old Spice, go back to Old Spice, Dad. That's a little,
Yep.
But now, I smell it. I smell it.
Well, just ask him to tone it down a little bit. You can say, "I know it's you, Dad. Thank you. Can you tone it down a little?"
But my mom talks to him. Of course, she doesn't know me, but she talks to him at the nursing home.
Of course, absolutely.
That blows me away. She talks to him just like he's never left, and he's not there. And so, but she's spot on the questions she asks him.
Maybe she sees him, just because we don't. Maybe we don't see him. Maybe she can see him.
I hope.
Well, Cindy,
I'm sure she does.
Much, Cindy. Thank you so much. I'm so
happy.
Thank
you, Cindy.
Thank you all.
No worries.
God bless. You've helped me.
I'm so glad. Your dad says he loves you. Okay.
I love him too.
And
I love him too. Okay. Thank you all. Have a great weekend.
God bless.
God bless. Thank you.
You're welcome, hon. Same to you.
All right. So.
Oh, thank you, Kelly. Kelly's my that's how I met AJ. I just met Robin before, but because of Kelly. So gonna give a shout out to Kelly because she connected us. So
yeah, Kelly Hopkins of Rainbow Light Paranormal and SNK Paranormal. My sister, one of my best friends. She obviously got me and Lorilei together. And Lorilei? No, I'm just joking.
No. It's okay.
I said Lorilei. I meant to say Lorilei. Like, where did I get that from? Like,
I knew. Maybe I put it in your head though, because I said that to both of you before. But I'm used to this happening. Or you have a conversation with someone, right? And I usually say once it's Lorilei. I'm not going to keep correcting people, but some people just say it like 10 times in a row.
I'm happy you did. Well, listen, Lorilei, we look forward to having you on in October to find out more about you, to find out about
Thank you.
But please shout out right now to everyone where they can connect with you, because I know people are looking to connect off Facebook with you. So please go ahead and do that.
Well, thank you very much for having me on here. So I do my own live show on United Public Radio Network, also known as UFO Paranormal Radio Network, on Monday nights from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can see that on our YouTube channels. I usually stream it to my Facebook profile. And you can find it anywhere where talk radio or podcasts are carried. You can also get a hold of me on facebook.com/The Angel Rock. I do paid readings. I also do healing sessions, chakra balancing, teaching, you name it. And please, by all means, please join my two groups, Paranormal University for all things paranormal and the Angel Rocker Tribe for many of the things that we did today, connecting with spirit and such. And thank you again for having me, guys. I loved it.
No, thank you so much. Coming on. We can't wait
before you go, actually, I just wanted to ask you, do you ever find that when you're doing them readings for people that there's someone else coming through that's completely random?
Not random, because I've worked with quite a few different mentors. So what my system for me is, and Robin, I had heard your podcast with AJ when you were talking a bit about your gift. So what I do is, in the mind's eye, I called it, I have a waiting room. So everybody lines up in the waiting room and I ask them to please take their turn. And then I have a color coding system that I use, pink for mom's side, blue for dad's side. The other thing that I've done is I have set up a bit of a dictionary, if you will. So I work with spirit, and anybody can do this. It's not just me. They want us to be able to connect the best that we can, right? It doesn't matter who it is. I believe we all have these gifts. We just have to tune into them, use them like a muscle. Sometimes in near-death experience, which I have studied professionally and personally for 40 years, can sometimes unlock things. But my point is, we can sit down and say, for example, every time I see a red rose, for me, it'll mean this. Every time you give me a color or a sensation, it will mean this, so that spirit can best connect with us and we can give the best messages possible to those that we're working with. Does that help?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
absolutely. Well,
And
Lorilei,
oh, go ahead, sorry.
sorry. Go ahead.
All I was going to say to Robin or anybody else listening, you have the right to set the parameters working with spirit. So if spirit say you're medium or spirit's waking you up during the middle of the night, you can say, listen, I'm human, I need my sleep. So say, for example, every time I wear this necklace or every time I light this candle, maybe it's a ring, whatever it is, I'm open for business. But if it's not there or it's turned off, that means that no, please, I need my space. I'm not in a working position. We have that right to set those parameters.
Yeah, it's just that AJ doesn't know this yet because I didn't get a chance to say to him, but I was doing an investigation the other night and I picked up on 2 males and 1 female spirit that were in the place. And I got the name straight away of David, which was one of the males.
Mm-hmm.
I asked on the spirit box for a name, and the spirit box said David. Also, as I was asking questions, I kept hearing the odd voice saying "C, C," and I thought that sounds Spanish. So I said, "Is there someone Spanish here?" And it said "C," and I
Okay.
said, "Can you tell me your name?" And I turned to one of the other guys that was there, and I says, "Let's just test this now. Can you tell me your name?" And
Yeah.
a couple of seconds, and then it went Pablo.
Oh, but that's a different scenario. And I don't want to keep it because I don't know how long you got to go. But when you're in that type of situation and you're investigating, you're kind of open to receiving information. I thought you had meant, like, say you're at home or doing a reading. When you're in a paranormal investigation, right? We don't know necessarily how many spirits are there. So for that, to me, I think that's incredible. It's wonderful. You got evidential proof with you picked up a name and then that name came through the spirit box, provided that the spirit was, representing who they said they were. But I believe that would be an example of evidential proof. You got that name and then it came through the box.
Wow. Well, Lorilei, thank you so much for
Thank
coming
you.
on. We're going to have you on the last week of October, that Friday. We cannot wait. I can't wait to dive deeper in this and get to
Me
know more.
too.
So
Halloween
thank
special.
you so much on. Yeah, thank you so much for
Well,
coming
I'm
on.
going to be having you guys on. I haven't talked to you yet, Robin, if you're open to it. If not, I may have you separately together, whatever, but we'll talk about that. We're going to work that out because I definitely love to return the favor and have you guys on my show as well.
Of course,
Not
I'd
a
love that
problem.
so much. All right, great. Well, hey, until the end of October, I will definitely be talking to you. Much love.
Absolutely.
So
Much love
much.
to you. Thank you for having me so much. I really appreciate it. Have a
Not a
great
problem.
weekend,
Thank you very
everybody.
much for coming on.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you. Bye.
Bye.
Wow, man, absolutely awesome. I just want to thank all the viewers that came on, from Jen to Cindy to One Stoner, Three Cats. Thank you guys so much for coming on. I tell you
Can
what,
I just say as well, AJ? I want
no,
to thank a few people. I want to thank a few people on there. I want to thank Kelly Hopkins, Kelly Hopkins, Kelly Hopkins.
yeah, right. Thank you, Kelly. We appreciate you for hooking us up with Lorilei. And I tell you what, man, it was an awesome reading to have somebody on, especially last second, to do this for us. It's absolutely amazing. So, but hey, this has been Talking with the Source. Another episode this Sunday with Exorcist Bishop Matthew Rawcliffe. So join us this Sunday at 3 p.m. Eastern Time, 8 p.m.
And
UK.
then Tuesday.
No, we're not talking about it. We're not talking about it. We're not talking about it.
I'm
No.
pumped for that one.
Yeah, Tuesday we have another guest, a pretty big guest, but we're gonna make you guys wait for it. So Yeah, oh well. He loves UFOs, people. So if you love UFOs, you're going to love this guest. But anyway, this has been another episode of Talking with the Source. Thank you guys so much. My name's AJ Capasso, and I'm with my good old friend here,
Robin from UPRN Paranormal and
He
Talking with the Source.
sounded like a friggin' robot. You went, Robin from UPRN Paranormal.
Well, you got to mix it up, you know what I mean?
Oh, okay. Goodbye.